Oh my God, I just totally got catfished. He looks absolutely nothing like his picture.
So I found out the guy that I've been dating is married with kids. His wife just reached out to me.
Welcome to the meat market. The single scene is a slaughterhouse and we are here to devour it. We are your hosts. I'm Lyndsie.
I'm Jess.
And today's sizzling single is Justin. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we hear that you have never in your life been on a dating app. Is this true?
I've never been on a dating app.
So how do you meet people?
Very outgoing. Yeah.
So
Grocery stores, banks,
So
gyms.
what's your line at the bank?
Gyms, banks.
What line do you use?
What line? I don't think I have lines. Everyone's different. I mean, like something about her maybe. Like, oh, your eyes or this, or I like your shoes.
So it's authentic, it's genuine. You cater your line to the
something.
person.
You're going to find something you like about her right away, right?
I've been hit on at the grocery store before.
Strong.
It's always at the Ghetto Fries on 44th and Thomas,
good.
though, right? It's never at the Sprouts. It's never at the Sprouts when I'm getting groceries. It's always when I have to stop quick at the Ghetto Fries.
So what line do they use? You've got the lovely bunch of coconuts.
No, the last time I was in the wine aisle buying wine, and he asked something about wine. But if I'm gonna date a guy, I want him to know more about wine than I know about wine, and so that doesn't work for me. So then when he asked to get my number, I said no, and then
Because
we went
of
our
the
separate
wine.
ways. Yeah,
What if he was so great outside of being a wine drinker?
he wasn't. I could tell.
That matters then.
So why do you not want to join the apps? Do you feel like you're missing out? There's a lot of women on those apps.
No, because I'm not missing out. But I'm in a different place for me because I've kind of got to a place where if I meet a woman, like, she's going to have to be, like, super spectacular because I'm so happy with my life now. I got the cars I want, the house I want, the kids I want, cleaners, cooks. So I don't know. Like, now I'm just at a certain place where it would have to be a magical feel.
So where did you meet your last girlfriend?
Girlfriend, that's a big word. I'm trying to
Does that make you nervous?
distribute this.
I know. Did you see him start sweating when you said girlfriend?
Yeah. No, so I was married for years, and then I met the next girl I dated at the gym, and we dated for about 3 years. Yeah.
And why did you guys break up, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. The first 2 years I thought were phenomenal, and then the last year, I'm a conservative, really strong on this side. She's an educator, a little bit feminist. I think that we kind of grew apart.
Yeah.
Maybe shit you should probably look at earlier. That you overlook when things are really good, maybe. And then the first couple years are just fun anyway, especially if you're just traveling and doing good stuff.
And so you said you were married. How long were you married for?
We started dating in 2006. I was married from 2009 to like 21-ish.
Okay. And you have kids together?
Yeah.
Oh, how many kids?
I got 4 kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that keeps you busy.
Yeah, so my oldest son, Delton, is the MMA world champ. He's held the world title for for years now. He just turned 18. My 15-year-old daughter won the wrestling state title at 120.
Whoa.
So we spent a lot of time in the MMA gym and a lot of training.
That's cool.
That's my happiness. My kids are my happiness.
Can your daughter beat up boys? Is that
my
like
daughter
the
definitely.
goal?
We've had some older 16, 17, 18-year-old boys come in over the years, like just on an invite from personal family, because it's a hidden gym, right? It's not a private gym. I mean, not a public gym. And we've had like older boys come in when she's 13, 14, and they're like, oh, we really want to train with your son, Delton. And I'm like, maybe my daughter first. And a minute later, she's choking them out.
Yeah, that's
slobbering.
hilarious.
And I'm like, yeah, there's lessons and there's levels, and it takes time.
So how did they get into that? Is that what you do?
No, I mean, I just grew up an athlete my whole life, and that's a large part of my life when I was younger. That's what I love doing. I mean, nowadays I own a construction company and, invest in some places. So I'm really busy, but I've always made a lot of time to spend 2-3 hours a day with my kids in our fight gyms.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you are podcast famous in town. So you've done a bunch of other podcasts?
Yeah, I mean, I've done some MMA podcasts, and we've done some dating podcasts for some lady friends of mine.
So this is not your first rodeo?
Not my first one right now.
That's funny. Do you get a lot of... have you had women reach out to you after seeing you on the dating podcast?
Dating podcast, my Instagram blew up for a while.
Did it? In a good way or in a bad way? Or
no,
both?
It was that side was like pretty positive, right? I'm so I'm really brash and like nothing shakes me at all. Like I'm just unshakable. So like when you read the comments of the bigger podcast, some are like, "Oh my God, I love him," and then some are like, "What an asshole."
Oh, God,
I like
yeah.
both though. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, that's cool. You know, and
Any comment is engagement, whether it's good or bad comment. You got to embrace them more because it just makes your numbers go up.
so the girls were like, "Man, our numbers were huge." I'm like, "Yeah, a lot of them were talking shit, and a lot of,
Yeah.
you know."
But they're all
haters, you ain't
jealous. They're
popping,
haters.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
They jealous because they ain't you. Is that the expression?
it was a good time. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you don't want any more kids, correct? You're done.
No, I don't.
Do you want to get married again?
It's like a coin flip. I don't know.
If
That's a
you
hard
met the
answer
right
because
one-
I could say yes, and then in the back of my mind, no. And I could say no, and maybe yes. But I was talking about this with some of my buddies today. I don't know if it's all men, and I can't speak for all men, but certain men that are like super, the word alpha is kind of gay, right? We're not going to use that. But like everything you do is like, hey, I want to be the best in business. I want to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to have a six pack at 43 years old. Everything I do is like proficiency. And that's when my kids are champions. So for me, like I would have to have this Wonder Woman that comes in as like so much grace and positivity that you come home from your fight gym or your company and you're just like already mentally beat, that there's so much positive behind that person. That's a scary thing.
Like you need a peaceful person,
super
sort of,
peaceful.
just to like
Yeah.
chill you out.
Super peaceful. And I think as a man, I bring a lot to the table. Like, you know, like I get up on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. when I was involved and married and stuff, and I'm cleaning the car by 6 a.m. and the gas is full for her and back in the garage. Like I'm consistent. I have a lot of good shit. I've never not opened a door. So I live on a lot of old school rules. I think Western culture, you know, like with women, I don't know if we're all going to link anymore. I think we're in a standoff a little bit.
So explain.
Well, I think the word feminist is like beaten on two sides, right? Like, you know, women, they don't want to be alpha, right? Because now we've taught feminism, and then on the other side, like feminism is good in a good feminine way. So,
Would you say you're looking more for the trad wife? Is that your
No.
type? No.
you know what I love, and this is crazy, and people are like, would you ever date someone that made more money than you? I said, show me where she's at.
Really?
Right
You
now.
don't get intimidated by
No,
that?
I would love that shit. Show me. Like, for sure. I was like, I told my buddies, I said, you find a woman that makes like $700,000 a year, I'll lick her ass and just work out every day. Like, I won't do anything else. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, no, I think it's amazing. I
think
love
a lot
successful women.
Well, and I think a lot of women compete with men.
It's weird.
It is a little weird. Like the roles, the male female role has changed a lot with the feminist movement.
Disheartening.
I feel it a little bit.
And on my side, like, if you're mad at me, you're angry at me, whatever, like, I'm so, and not to like weird the word of alpha, I'm so like, if a dude says something, we're gonna swing him right now. If a woman yells at me, I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'll never yell back at women. Like, I don't put energy in that. And that's not like to shit on like a alpha or feminism, like, but you're not gonna get nothing out of an argument with a woman. With a dude, at least you're like, all right, well, I can elbow you in your face now. You know what I mean? With a woman, it's like just let her cool down and like move on, or you exit that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of how I play my game.
So speaking of female entrepreneurs, don't you have some experience dating OnlyFans models? I know they consider themselves entrepreneurs.
No, do you want my OnlyFans story?
Yes, we want your
'Cause
OnlyFans story.
I don't know shit about OnlyFans really. But one gal, she was cute, probably in her mid-20s, 26, 27. She reached out to me on Instagram for a while. She's like, I just really want to hang out with you. I'm like, all right. So I agreed to meet with her in Old Town Scottsdale and went to a little bar that I spent time at. We had a couple drinks, and then she's like, hey, my girlfriend wants to come too. And so she came, then we drank for a few more hours. And then it was a threesome at like 5:30 in the afternoon.
At the bar?
No, back at her place. I'm just saying where it went from noon to 5:30.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my own, and I think they were OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Did they record the threesome to post?
No, and then they asked, I'm like, no, you're not recording me on shit.
You're like, I'm gonna need royalties for every view this gets.
They're like, what about just your part? I'm like, no, because a lot of people know that thing hooks to the left. You know what I mean? Like, they'll know it's me. No.
Could you date an OnlyFans model?
No.
You couldn't?
No.
Even if she was super successful, making more money than you, doing OnlyFans?
Nah, because I don't really respect the hustle.
No?
No.
Even if they were just doing things by themselves, they weren't bringing in other partners?
I don't know. Do you think that's talent? I don't associate with a lot of talent of
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? One of my best friends, she's so talented. I mean, just painted the side of a building here, got paid very well. She owns a great furniture store. She may make more money than me, but we've been friends for 20 years. I find her attractive because of how smart and successful she is. And I tell her that all the time, like, she's badass. So I don't know if I would attribute them together, like OnlyFans and a woman that's very proficient like this woman.
Yeah. Why don't you date your friend? Have you ever talked about it? Have you ever tried?
No, I'm so comfortable with our friendship. For, you know what I mean? Like,
That would suck if you take it to the next level, it doesn't work out, and then
Yeah.
could you go back to being friends? I don't know.
probably not.
I don't think so.
No.
I heard something recently that was like, friends can be lovers, but lovers can't be friends.
Yeah, that's
So
true shit.
it's like you can start out as friends and you can become lovers, but once you become lovers, you can't go back to being friends.
I can see
There's
how
no
that's
going
true.
back.
There is no going back.
It's not worth it.
So do you have any other dating disaster stories? Or
Disaster.
probably don't have catfish stories because you don't date online.
No, I don't have any. I would never use the word disaster. When I talk about like dating to like my friends and stuff, like I dated younger chicks for a while.
How's that?
That's the most normal shit ever now.
Especially in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Like, look at where we live.
Very common.
25-year-old, let's do the psychology behind it real quick though. 25-year-old women love 40-year-old men. Like it's just normal. Like my dad's like, oh my God, you live in the best fucking time ever. I'm like, no, like they're a pain in the ass to deal with.
It's
That's
like having,
what-
it's like
you
having a
learn.
child. It's like
Right.
having a daughter.
But the psychology behind that is like, think of the average 25-year-old man, like boy man, right? First of all, boys are 5 years behind women anyway, right?
It's true.
Like we're kind of handicapped compared to women. So like, then you take 25-year-old dudes and you're wondering why these 25-year-old chicks ain't dating them. That dude's living at home with his mom playing Xbox. He can't change a tire. He's probably not an orgasm giver first. Like they lack a lot of shit. So now naturally 25-year-old women are going to be like, oh, a 40-year-old man that actually is very rounded.
Has
I
his
think
shit
that's
together.
what we're seeing now.
Yeah, is assertive. Older guys are
Yeah.
typically more assertive. They're more of like
Different
leaders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different generation. I think they're more gentlemanly.
Yeah.
They're more aggressive, take charge, make the plans, you know?
Like I see 25-year-old dudes at the gas station and the girl gets out and pumps gas. Bro, I don't even care if she's paying for the gas. That's one thing you're an asshole about. But at least get out and pump her gas
Yeah.
for her. Like
Yeah.
they're just behind.
Yeah, it is. And it's
Yeah.
a lot of it too is where you grow up, because there's like where in Iowa where I grew up, when my parents are in town, when my dad is in town,
Yeah.
neither my mom nor I ever
anything.
get out of the car.
No.
And I drive my parents around everywhere because I live here. They come for, you know, their little snowbird season or whatever. And so if I'm with my parents, I'm always in the driver's seat. I'm always chauffeuring them. But if we're stopping for gas
Yeah, Dad's
somewhere,
jumping out.
yeah, there is not a woman getting out of a car that my dad or my brother or my brother-in-law are, like, for that matter. Just like, I think it has a little bit to do about where you grew up.
I teach.
too.
I'm hard on my boys.
Yeah.
I teach them that. I mean, I like when I see my 18-year-old boy, like, you know, leaving with his girlfriend. He runs and grabs her door.
Yeah.
And he's the champ, so he's got a lot of ego.
Yeah.
Think about this dude's a big ego guy, but at least he still has that side
Yeah.
to it.
The singles here are a different breed. We had someone that was like, I had said, yeah, you know, Arizona's great because there are no natural disasters here. And they're like, no natural disasters? Have you seen the singles? Because the singles here are, I feel, I mean, there's a reason why we're constantly rated the worst place to date and be single in
Yeah.
the country.
Do you find you have a lot of women after you for your money? Have you ever had a woman ask you for
I think
something
I
extravagant?
think we gotta be like, oh, I have.
Yeah.
I
Have
had
you
this
ever-
beautiful girl a few months ago on Instagram, probably like 25, 28. And she's like, oh, I know who you are, whatever, but I live in KC. I want to come out and hang out with you, this, that. And at first it seemed kind of genuine. And then literally like a week later, she's like, it's my birthday. Can I get this? Is that fucking Chanel or some purse? Mm-hmm. I'm like, you lost your
What?
mind. I go, I would buy my daughter that if she calls and asks, but you're not getting that.
Right.
Like, you're crazy.
And you've
literally
never
wrote,
met
I
her?
go, you don't suck my dick or cook for me. Like, you're not getting a Chanel from me. No, it was
You can
kind.
get a
It
Shein
was.
bag.
It was a little. Yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe the dollar store bag. That was some crazy stuff. But no, the dating thing is like, because that's something your mom would say, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, those young women like you because you have nice shit. Mm-hmm. But I think no matter what, not to shit on women, but being honest, is women are kind of brought up to, what does that man produce? We're not in a world where it's like, we don't look at a hot woman and be like, man, what the fuck can she do for me? Yeah. Like, do you think she could keep my sneakers cool, or we don't associate any of that. We're like, she's hot. Hopefully the sex is good. Maybe she can cook.
Yeah.
Like something.
Yeah, right? Some men are like,
or bring some love
cook?
to you. Yeah, I don't know. Like, just something like that. I cook, so I don't worry about a woman that can cook. But we generalize, women are like, what? So no matter what can this man, what does he bring to the table?
Yeah.
You know?
So I recently read an article. You know Robbie Williams, the English singer? Anyways, actually, it was an article from Selma Blair. You know Selma Blair, right?
No.
Selma Blair, the actress? What was she in? She was in
She
Cruel
was on Cruel
Intentions.
Intentions. Selma Blair.
Selma Blair.
Oh, Blair.
Anyway,
Yeah.
she's an American actress, and she went on a date with Robbie Williams. He came to her house. He opened the fridge and just left, and she never knew why. He just bolted on the date, and then he came out and said it's because she had no food in her fridge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he likes a woman to cook.
Yeah, she was Uber Eats every day.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's funny.
That is a strong line, though.
It is my neighbor. That's the difference between men and women. My neighbor was going out of town last minute to watch U of A in the basketball tournament in March or whatever, and he texted me and he's like, "Hey, can you just pop over really quick and feed the dog?" He's like, "I didn't have time." A lot of times his mom lives in Tucson and will come up and stay with the dog, and he goes, you'll be able to find the food really easily because it's like pretty much the only thing in the fridge. And I'm thinking he's joking, right?
Yeah,
I'm like this, it's a joke. I open his fridge and there is not a single item in his fridge except for his dog's food. I started laughing because I was like, this is literally the difference between men and women. Like I live by myself and my fridge is full of food because I love to cook and I home cook almost every meal that I eat. And I go over to his house. He lives alone. I open his fridge and there is nothing in it except his dog's food.
That's funny.
Can he cook though? Probably not.
I don't think so. I think
my fridge is full, but
out.
I have my kids full time too.
Yeah.
So my fridge is always full. I still eat out a couple.
It's also in his defense. I will say this: it is hard to cook. I meal prep, so I cook for multiple days at a time for myself. But it is hard to cook for yourself for a single person. Yeah, it is hard. Food. Yeah.
So do you still date younger? Tell us about what you're looking for.
No, well, younger, yes, for sure, but not younger. Like that 23, 24-year-old stuff is not working. I think there's kind of now that 28 to 42-year-old concept.
What is your perfect woman?
Perfect woman.
Describe your type.
Smart, fit, proficient. One that mentally would encourage a man's success and not be like freaked out by it. You know what I mean? But just be an asset to it. I think that's a perfect one.
Do you have a physical type?
Dark. Yeah. More I've dated mainly like Hispanic, Asian, or darker. Yeah. But it's weird. Now I'm older and it's like the last few years, first time in my life, I'll see blonde girls in the gym that kind of look like me. I'm like, oh, fuck, I like her. It never was that way in my life, but now I'm attracted to blondes too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we change with age, right?
Preferences.
What do you do in your free time? What are your hobbies?
My hobbies, I'm in the gym every day. I still like to wrestle or get in the cage like once or twice a week. That's my thing. I do travel. Like, I'll just jump on a plane, go to Oceanside for 2 days.
Spontaneous?
Kind of spontaneous, yeah.
I love that.
I'm still spontaneous. And then mainly just pushing my kids. Like, that's my happiness, is just success. And my flex is the success of my children.
Do you have your kids full-time or do you share custody?
No.
You
Full-time?
have both of them, you do?
3.
Or 3,
Three
okay.
teenagers.
Okay.
And the youngest one at 50-50.
Okay.
So now what if you meet a younger girl, you date her and she really wants more kids?
Well, that was the thing I was going through, because you start dating 25-year-old women. And then I told my mom, I was like, you don't need no more kids, dude. Like, you're good. But like, if you were going to date it, say you meet a 26-year-old and you love everything about her and you date her and she doesn't have a kid, there is a strong chance she wants you to produce one kid.
One. Yeah, for sure.
It's
Could
a
you be
real thing.
convinced?
Man, she would have to be like
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've worked so hard in so many years to have very successful children, And I love that pace, but I don't know if I'm going to love that pace at 50, 55 years old.
And it's a lot of work. Can you imagine going back to diaper changing and sleep training and potty training?
Yeah, I just did it a couple years ago.
Because if you have one young one, then it's almost like, well, then you might as well have two, because I don't want to
Make them play together.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't want to have to go to all the kids' movies and sit in the playroom with them all the time. Like, you want them to have a little sibling buddy. So it's just like, yeah, no, I don't know.
What are your deal breakers?
I think someone that's like overly on social media. And when I say overly, I'm using the word overly, but I'm thinking more like you have your ass cheeks out on a Saturday at the pool party.
Yeah.
More like that. More like maybe lack of class, I should say, in social media.
Yeah.
It's unattractive to me.
Trying to do too much to get the attention.
Yeah, because do you need that much attention?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even recently, like this last month, there's this really attractive blonde. Like naturally, I think it's a natural ass, amazing ass, fit, probably 35-ish. But like all her photos, and she has kids, right? And I had to go way down on her Instagram to see cool photos of her sons, which I probably think your sons are cooler than you, showing your ass off.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, yeah, she shows her assets for sure, but like the last 25 photos were not any of her kids. Like,
Yeah.
yo, show me like field trip day with your kids, and you're pretty, and you don't have to have your butt out.
And what's the point then, too, of that? Because is it making you money? And if it's not, what is posting like that doing for you?
What kind of men do you think it would attract?
Probably bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
the
I
thirsty,
think so.
the thirsty one.
Men with naughty intentions.
Good looking dude. Maybe the word we use, fuck boys, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you're gonna attract some good looking dudes because you're a good looking chick, right? Mm-hmm. But a dude that he came from the bottom and built himself up, he's not gonna find that attractive.
Just devil's advocate, but maybe she is making a lot of money from these posts and has to support her kids. I don't know. Can you make money on Instagram?
No, I think she only has 3,000 followers.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
But I do got a buddy's wife that has 1 million followers, and she makes a lot of money.
You can, and that's the thing is you can make
can.
money
Yeah.
posting like that on Instagram, but you do have to
Hers
have
ain't like that, though.
you
Hers
have
is
to have a
classy.
large following. Yeah.
Hers is more like design and bathing suit companies and marketing companies because she has such a big following. Even like when we built them a sport court, like tennis, I built pickleball courts, tennis courts, stuff like that. But she markets everything. But like these companies will pay her, even coffee companies, like $25,000.
Like brand deals. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a red flag if a woman does not have social media? If she's nowhere to be found on the internet?
It'd be kind of weird, huh?
It's funny because you made a comment. We have a guest that's coming up, and she's like, "He has no social media. That's really weird."
Yeah.
Like maybe he's just normal.
I like it. I because I'm not a big social media. It's like putting myself out there like this in the podcast space is really outside of my comfort zone.
enough.
It's weird for me. Yes. Yeah. So I get it. I like it. I don't think it's a red flag when someone doesn't
did you hear
have social media.
Aaron Rodgers? You know Aaron Rodgers, right? He secretly got married, but no one knows who his wife is. Her name's Brittany, but she's not on social media.
It's pretty
Isn't that kind of cool? I kind of love that.
And
Yeah.
he's got so much money, he probably investigate her for a while.
Right.
He might be all right.
But I think that's
he knows
so-
her mom and dad and shit.
I think that's so cool that someone is so confident and has so much going on that they don't need social media. They don't feel
Yeah.
they have to prove anything or,
I
constantly post
was
pictures.
literally 3 years ago, I'm like I started my company Instagram a few years ago. And then I didn't even have a personal Instagram until like a year and a half ago. Like I'm not big on social media. I feel like it's more important now to stay up with the times. I'm an old
Yes.
handshake guy. I got a
Yeah.
lot of contractors that respect me because we do what we say we're going to do. So we're kind of old school, but we are going to the other side where I feel like I need to be on Instagram showing, you know what I mean? Showing our business.
It's an
and doing things.
advertisement
We have
when
to
it's
now.
for the business.
Yeah.
I use my personal social medias I use to keep up with family because I don't have any family here. You know what I mean? Like I didn't grow up here, so all of my family is across the country, and so it's it's a way for me to stay in touch with people that way.
I really wish I could get rid of all my social media. I really wish I could go dark, but with the podcast, you can't do that. Like you have to try to gain those followers.
Do you think it's needed, although, to look back at people you haven't seen since high school and be like, oh, well, fuck, they got
I
3
think it is
kids.
cool. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? That
That's
part's
what
kind of cool,
That's
right?
what I'm saying because I graduated from high school with 20 people.
Right.
And so
You know what they're doing.
on my
All 17 of them.
well, I know what they're doing because the whole town knows what they're doing, but I also know what they're doing because we are still friends on social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
I mean, you go, like, I show up to my town that I grew up in. I'm from Phoenix, but I grew up in a small town in Payson from 7 to 18 years old. And when I go back, like, when I run into those people at a restaurant or whatever, like, I feel like I know them still.
Exactly,
Even though we ain't
because
seen
you're
them in 20
keeping up-
years.
'cause you're keeping
Where
up
like,
with their
how's your
lives.
kid Todd doing? You know what I mean? Like, I know there's goods and bads to social
Yeah.
media.
It's true.
Yeah.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it. The Keep More Minute brought to you by Tactical Tax Strategies. They help you keep more in your wallet. We help you keep more in your relationship. So we have a listener question to discuss.
It's the good stuff now.
This is the good stuff. This question comes from Joseph. He says, my friends joke that I have mommy issues because I'm dating someone 15 years older. Should I care what they think, or is this a red flag I'm ignoring?
Do you want the age? That was like a half.
I know, because he doesn't
want
give
the
their
age.
he doesn't give their ages. So I have
Yeah.
I have one of my very, very best girlfriends. She's 53 and she's married to a 28-year-old.
Woo!
And
Go her.
And it
Call that one
works.
extreme, but it works.
And it works
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them. And it works for them. But I think they both have mommy issues.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know,
15 years.
but it works.
So say he's
I feel if
28,
he's
she's
happy,
43 or
Three.
something,
if
maybe?
he's happy and
Yeah.
he's in love, then who cares what other people think? There's a quote that I love.
Yeah.
Life truly begins when you stop trying to please the audience.
Never.
Why do you care what other
Never.
people think?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you? If he's happy and she's happy,
Yeah.
I say go for it.
brashly honest. My Facebook says hard, but brashly honest, but loving. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Has always been my shit.
I don't think 15 years is too much of an age difference.
I'd assume he's probably like, let's say 30 and 45. I
Yeah.
don't think, especially because now 40-year-old women they are on fire. They look like they're in their 20s.
Yeah. I don't
Right?
think 15 years is
I
too
mean,
much.
isn't Kim Kardashian 45? And look how great she looks.
I think so. Something like that. She's close.
I think as long as you're happy.
Yeah.
If you take care of yourself, right?
So now we're going to read this Reddit forum about red flags that people suggest. Do you have any things that you've ignored, red flags in women that you chose to ignore, and then looking back, you're like, oh, I should have listened to that red flag?
Oh, mine would be political views.
Really?
Yeah.
So you could never date a liberal?
No, liberal's tough for me.
Really?
Do you
Yeah.
try to get that out right? Well, now you
I
might
think it's easy.
after.
I think it's easy to smell now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, like you can kind of smell it out a little bit, right?
Because
But-
we've talked about that before. Like, should you discuss politics on a first date or super early on in the relationship? Probably yes.
You don't want to waste your
because-
time.
How are you dating, right? Like, I mean, if a dude's like, oh, she's hot, I want to have sex with her, maybe he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
But if you're actually dating for some serious shit, you probably want to know.
For intent, like if you're intentionally
Yeah.
dating to be in a
So
relationship.
in the first date, are you asking a lot of questions, like crazy deep questions?
Political
I went to
questions.
lunch with a gal like 7-8 months ago, and I didn't even know it was really a date. Like I just thought we were going to talk about some business shit, but like it was like serious questions, like what do you want out of life? What do you want this? And I'm like, fuck, I don't even know. Like I don't even know you that well.
Yeah.
Like,
I do think though, like the older you get, why not get all those serious questions out of the way so that if you don't
this is
align,
a 40-year-old woman, by the way.
yeah,
Not a
if you don't
25-year-old
align, you
woman.
don't have to
Yeah.
waste
Yeah.
your time on a second or third date, right?
Yeah.
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 So here are some red flags according to people. Ankle socks.
I love ankle socks.
You do? I
Oh,
like
I'm,
ankle
rock,
socks.
I'm rocking ankle socks.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
If he's a political science major,
Probably.
being self-righteous, she would take it upon herself to explain everything to me. And I was like, bitch, I'm not dumb.
I don't like that. I don't like people who have to explain every little thing that
It's
they're
kind of
doing, because if
annoying.
you can't tell what I'm doing by my actions,
Yeah.
you're not probably intelligent enough.
Yeah.
true.
Lacking depth.
If they don't own a calendar, I mean, I have a calendar, but
We
a
all
lot of
own a
people just use their
calendar.
phone, right? Do you own a
Called a
calendar?
phone.
Right,
We
exactly.
own a calendar.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
they play golf, I feel like everyone plays golf nowadays.
No, that's not a red flag.
Yeah. Although I know a lot of women get jealous because their man is always playing golf and they would prefer the man to spend more time with them. You know, like if he's playing golf.
I don't play golf, but I'm the same in the MMA gym and wrestling and shit.
Yeah.
So I have the same habit. But
Yeah.
I don't play golf.
Communicates with an ex still? Absolutely. Don't you think that's a red flag?
Women hate that for sure.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
would you be okay if your current girlfriend was still texting her ex?
No, probably not. But I'm that kind of dude that like if I don't like a few things,
You just leave, you
yeah,
bolt.
take
Yeah.
care.
Has friends of opposite sex? That one is kind of a slippery slope. How
Had
do
this
you
conversation yesterday.
right? How do you feel about
Yeah.
your girlfriend being friends with?
No, because I've had girls that been seeing, like we go out dates, we see each other a little bit, And then all of a sudden, like Layla, my friend Layla, that's my friend. Like I'm not changing. Like we can go meet at the bar and have drinks. Like I already said I didn't want to fuck her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But women don't hear it that way always.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, she's kind of attractive.
How do you feel about men being friends with women if you're dating them? Are you okay with it?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have friends that are men.
Yeah.
Do they have to be ugly though? You almost can't be attracted to
I
them,
know.
right?
That's where I'm torn because like I think about that too, and I think about my friends who are guys because I have this one guy friend and he pretty much exclusively only dates Asian women, and so I know that I'm not his type.
A little out of the box.
And he's short. He's shorter than I am,
Yeah.
and so he's not my type. Like I can't date a man that's shorter than me,
Right.
and I'm not Asian, so we are not each other's type. We are great friends.
Yeah.
But I really think if I called him and I was like, "Hey, I'm horny, like let's
Wanna
do
bang?
it," I don't think he would. I don't think he would.
I bet he would.
He might be freaked out by it.
I think he'd be freaked out by it.
He might be intimidated by it too.
Maybe. I don't know. I have a couple of guy friends.
Do men like dating taller women?
I don't know.
I like tall women.
I find that
I think that's confidence.
I
though.
find that short men do like
I think
me
confident
as a
men
tall
like taller
woman.
women, yeah.
Yeah.
When I got to college, like there was a smoking hot girl. I was playing sports there, and she's volleyball, but she's like 6 foot something. I'm like, what the fuck? She was beautiful though, and so like at first they're like, hey, she likes you. This is 20 years ago. I'm like, hell no, she's taller than me. And then like 3 weeks later, I'm like, yeah, I tell her I want to go out. Like, I scored a couple touchdowns Saturday. Like I'm the guy now. Yeah.
That's funny.
Men with two first names, Jean-Paul.
That's a red flag.
Is that more European?
Maybe it's a European thing,
Yeah.
yeah. If he asks you what kind of panties you wear, that means he's way sexually immature.
What kind of panties? I've
Yeah.
never asked a girl what kind of panties they wear.
Is it like
Or what
I ask them
thong
what,
or
I
granny
ask them what
panties,
color.
or-
I've had guys ask me what
Yeah,
color
for
panties
sure.
I'm wearing, and
I mean, you got to be in a certain spot where you're comfortable to ask for the
yes,
color.
you do. It
because
can't
you're
be-
saying you're pretty much saying, show me your fucking panties.
Yes.
So what is the point
Yes.
of asking what color? Is it to create the visualization in your head?
No, he just wants to see your fucking panties.
It's foreplay.
Yeah.
It's foreplay.
Maybe
Like,
he gets to see your ass cheeks. Like, what are you talking about? I've 100% said what color your panties.
I've had men ask
Yeah.
me what color panties I'm wearing.
That's funny. If all their exes are crazy, run.
Well, because they're probably lying. They're
100%.
because if
How
all
would
of the
you-
exes are crazy, what's the bottom
What's the common
denominator?
thread?
Yeah.
Like you are the common denominator.
You're saying if that human says all their exes
Exes
are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he uses a metallic blade from the 1950s.
What is that for? Shaving?
Huh?
What does that mean?
I don't know. You know,
don't
like
know.
one of those,
I'm not
those
sure.
knives that you from like the
Like a
50s?
switchblade?
Yeah, like a switchblade that you see in the movies. I don't know. If he has a record with pending court dates, duh, of course. I'm a book nerd, so my big book.
What if it's white collar crime
What if it's organized crime?
or
right?
or organized
What
crime?
if it's organized crime?
Yeah. I'm a book nerd, so my big book related one is if his favorite author is Hemingway, it means he actually doesn't read. If she wears neon colors, if her phone screen is cracked, if she's a marketing major, if she wears a beanie to class. These are actual things that people are saying.
These must be all young because they're like college.
Those all seem young.
They,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they have an iPhone but no data plan, so she can only iMessage. Is that an actual thing?
I've only talked to women like in Mexico and foreign countries that do that.
Yeah.
If they take out their calculator to figure out the tip on the bill, I agree with that one. That's kind of annoying. If like they're tipping at a restaurant and
Yeah.
you have to get your calculator out. Like,
That's true. If you
right?
can't do 20%.
But some girls aren't great though. Like my grammar is not great, and I know that. But my math is so fucking perfect. It's so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm a big tipper. But I've also invested in nightlife restaurants, so I'm a big tipper.
You understand
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You brought up a good one, grammar. Is that a red flag for you?
Grammar bothers me.
Oh, don't read my shit. It's fast. It's hyperactive. It would take you 3 weeks to pick up my language
Or at least because
via text.
at least you do like periods and punctuation. When people just do run on with like no periods or commas,
Yeah.
or no capitalizations. Yeah.
If I can decide, like if I've learned someone's sort of their language,
Yeah.
I had this friend, his name was Mark, and we called what he said, we would call it Marcanese, and you had to speak Marcanese to understand what he was saying or what he was texting or whatever. And so if it's like a lingo thing,
Yeah.
that's one thing to me. But
Or if you're
it's
on the
poor,
go and you're doing voice to text,
if
or
it's
quick.
ignorant and poor grammar, that's kind of a
So
turn off, I think.
mine, I think if I'm slow and not in a rush, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
But mine's more or less like, I got one kid over here with a problem. My fucking company's doing this, and I'm texting you back. It might not be perfect.
It might, yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
If you own a reptile, if a guy owns a reptile, is that deal breaker or red flag?
No, that's just a pet.
Yeah.
I've never owned a reptile.
If they wear Reebok running shoes, is there something against Reebok running shoes?
I don't think so.
If
I
their
have a pair of
favorite
Reeboks.
restaurant is Texas Roadhouse, I've heard so many people slam Texas Roadhouse and be like, "That's a deal breaker if they take me there on a first date." I love Texas Roadhouse. I'd be chuffed if I was taken there on a first date. It's so good.
As a girl who brings,
you look like you're not amused.
As a girl who brings all of her beef back with her from the farm in Iowa, I'm not happy with Texas Roadhouse.
I'm bougie with that.
So what's wrong with Texas Roadhouse? You didn't.
No, it's okay. You know what? If we're talking about this, though, like you know how many times I go out and buy a $400 dinner and I leave pissed off these days?
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants just fucking suck.
No, I don't do steakhouse.
Yeah.
Like, and it's when I moved here, I remember my dad had made the comment like, we don't need to go to a steakhouse because our steak is better than the restaurants. He's like, I want to go to other types of restaurants. I'm not a big it's nothing against Texas Roadhouse. I'll order a salad at Texas Roadhouse, but I'm not going to order a steak at Texas Roadhouse.
If you come from a farm where you have like grade A beef, I can see that. Yeah.
I was in a meeting yesterday and they're like, "Hey, STK's going out of business."
Of course
I ate there 3 times. I said it's the worst fucking place
it
I
is.
ever ate
I
at.
went there once and said I would never go back.
I've always wanted to go there. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. No, it's
I said,
not.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Car problems. Wasn't our last guest talking about if a guy has car problems and can't fix it himself? If their name starts with a J, it's a red flag. I completely agree with that.
Faux show.
Bitch.
Run.
That is hilarious.
Get out of here.
J squared over here.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. But that one is common. I've seen that one on social media.
Jay?
Like the, you know, those groups that are like, are we dating the same guy?
Yeah.
There will be people will post sometimes and it'll be Justin or Jared or Jay or Jason or Jamie or whatever. And the comments will all be like, girl, if his name starts with a J, he's an automatic
Justin
red
is my
flag.
middle name. I live by my middle name.
Pass.
I could go by DJ because I did when I was little, but
funny.
I wouldn't go by my first name ever. That's my dad's name. But yeah, Justin's kind of my name.
That's funny.
Doesn't have a driver's license. That's a huge red flag.
That's a huge red
That's
flag.
not good.
We set up a couple and she didn't have a driver's license on her. And the guy made a comment about that. Like, who doesn't carry a physical driver's license?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Or you go to a bar and you're dating a young girl and she don't even have her license with you. You're like, yeah, probably fucking bring that.
Right.
Like, they ain't gonna card me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna card you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge red flag for me and my pet peeve. When people have Instagram accounts for their pets or their kids. Oh my God.
That's special needs.
Like, right? Like,
some
I
special
know
needs
people
shit.
that have Instagrams for their kids
Okay, if we're
and
on
their
that,
pets.
then what about couples with
Oh,
joints?
that's deal breaker. That screams insecurity to me and that they don't trust each other.
Who was fucking who, huh?
Do you agree?
Yeah, who was stepping out of that
Don't you
relationship?
agree?
Oh, I will say this. I know one and personally know that the wife was a little bit out there. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, I saw they had a joint account. I'm like, oh shit, he found out.
Yeah.
That's what hit my mind. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's the only reason if one of them doesn't trust the other to have their own account.
I was like, oh, shit, maybe she
I
did get caught up.
will say that I've known people who create an Instagram account for their pet and use it as like their burner account, as like their account that they use to like
stalk
troll
people.
people and
Yeah.
stalk people and leave comments and stuff. Yeah.
What percentage of women have stock accounts?
A lot.
It's high on.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah. The Finstagram
Yeah, you get these
accounts.
weird accounts. Like, what the fuck is this?
When grown adults only communicate with you through Snapchat or WhatsApp or memes. When I was single, I had a guy that would only send me memes. And it's like, dude, are you never going to ask me a question or converse? Like,
That was his max of humor.
yeah.
Snapchat, if you're over 35, I probably am out.
Right?
Yeah. If you're 25, like, okay, yeah, you guys use Snapchat. But if you're 35 or older with Snapchat, I'm probably out.
And
Yeah.
WhatsApp, doesn't that scream scammer? Like they're in another country
I
and
like
don't have a...
that's the I use WhatsApp because I travel a lot. So when I meet people from
Yeah.
other countries, it's a way to continue communication.
Yeah, I use it too.
with them. So WhatsApp isn't.
My friends in Culiacan and Mochi.
Yeah, but I think if I was talking to a guy and he was like, "Hey, let's take this conversation to WhatsApp,"
America. I
think that's what it
in
means.
America,
Yeah.
that would be a red flag.
Doesn't it kind of scream scammer to you? Like
a little
you're-
bit.
No, I've
Yeah.
had that many times actually. Like girls reach out to you, but on like Instagram and be like, oh, this is my WhatsApp.
So, yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Unavailable to FaceTime, huge red flag.
Yeah.
Won't post pictures on social media of you together, or you're not on social media. How funny. I've dated guys in the past that refuse to post pictures of us together on social media, or don't want me to post pictures of us together.
What was your timeline? Like, how do you feel about your timeline? After 3 months, you're like, this dude should be posting me?
I found out it's because he was cheating. Yeah. He was with multiple women, had a girlfriend, So I think that is kind of a red flag if they don't want pictures together.
I think if they haven't met your family, like for me, because I use social media to, like I said, to keep up with my family. So if they haven't met my family yet, they're not going on my social media.
That's true though. Timeline after one date, if you're posting pictures together on social media, that's kind of creepy.
I think if you're dating 90 days with a guy straight and you've been out 20 times together, and he doesn't post at least softies for you, like
softies,
like a story or something.
What is that called? The young people call it like a soft
launch. The soft launch.
Soft launch.
Yes,
soft launch. So like, if you're not at least getting a soft launch like in the first 45, 60 days, I would say he's a fuckboy or something.
Yeah. Love bombing, moving too fast. That's a red flag. I feel like if they start off too strong, it means it's not going to go anywhere. Do you?
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's usually the narcissist.
I was just going to say narcissistic personality does that.
Mm-hmm.
You should know about this one.
You hit
Borrowing money, asking to borrow money.
A man asked to borrow money?
I've had more men ask me to borrow money than
she gave it.
I can count. I've given guys money. Yeah.
But you got it back, right?
Yes, I did.
Even when I was a young kid and I was young and didn't have a lot of money, like I made sure I had enough money to take women out. Mm-hmm. Like that was life for me. Like I was never gonna I've never made a woman pay for half of a tab.
Yeah. Oh, I've typically
maybe on dating apps this is somewhat normal. People told me though.
If a guy asks me to pay for half. On a date, I will pay the entire bill, and then we will never go out again. Like class. it will. Yeah, like you will not get a second date.
But then a guy will ask you for money and you'll give him money.
Her heart's soft sometimes.
Confused.
My heart
got a good soft heart from Iowa.
Is soft sometimes. Yeah. It is. It's situational.
Yeah.
It's situational.
One day she'll have a 25-year-old son and be like, "Oh, I'm setting you $200, son." Bro, he's 25. I grew up with the opposite. My mom's easy on women, right? Easy on my older sister, and hard as fuck on me.
Yeah.
Like, and that's probably why I turned out the way I did. Mm-hmm. And it's so nowadays I respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna chat about celebrities, marinate in the juices of the celebrities. We gotta talk Bonnie Blue. Do you know Bonnie Blue? That OnlyFans model that she wanted to break.
The one that took
1,000 men in 24 hours.
Right.
Now she's doing a petting zoo where she's putting herself in a glass cage. She's gonna tie herself down and she's allowing 2,000 men to come in and do whatever they want to her. What?
I just think it's disgusting.
So you don't respect OnlyFans models. So what do you think of Bonnie Blue? So you've never heard of her?
No, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She fucked like 580 dudes in one day.
She's crazy.
1,000.
Yeah, she broke the Guinness World Record, I think.
No.
That was her goal, her ambition. I need to break the world record for banging the most men in 24 hours.
How does that make you feel inside? Like,
she seems so confident and so
she just
happy about
dead
it.
inside? Yeah. I would just feel dead inside.
Like her poor parents, right? Her poor family. Like I would feel like a failure as a mother if my daughter ended up doing that. And what message is she given to women? Like, does she think she's a feminist and women can do, we can?
You think once you already just did something so shitty, you're like, oh fuck, just stay path.
Yeah.
She probably does a lot of bad stuff.
So she was banned from the football games in the UK because she was advertising. She was offering to sexually please the players or the fans.
Yeah.
So she was banned, but she snuck in and the guards found her and like escorted her out again because she was again advertising sexually explicit, activities with the fans. And it's like,
oh, she's European.
She's English, She doesn't
European
give us English women a good name.
I know. I saw a video of her recently where she was in a DJ booth somewhere, and like the DJ is working or whatever, and she like all of a sudden her head just goes and goes under the DJ table, and she's down there for like 30 seconds, and then she comes back up and she's like that, like it's like.
She's good then if it was 30 seconds.
It was so short. It was so short. That's why I was like, damn. I was like, that's it? Like,
it must have been so short for her to be done that quick. But my question too is, what men are actually participating in this? Would you want to be involved with a woman that has just had 990 men bang her and then you're up next? Isn't that kind
I've
of
never even been okay with trains,
Ew.
like with just one of my buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other thing. That's not a threesome. If there's 2 men and a woman, because sometimes women are like,
I've
oh,
had
it's a
this
threesome.
conversation
It's
with
absolutely not a
guy
threesome.
friends
Why?
before too.
Why?
That's a train.
That when it's 2 guys and a woman,
train.
it's a train, not a
Men
threesome.
will never call that a threesome.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you got trained. So that's I had to say that on the other podcast. They were talking about threesomes. I said, absolutely fucking not. That's not it. It's a train.
We should have asked, you know who we should have asked? We should have asked Steve the Bull. We had a guy who's a bull. He joins in on couples.
Yeah.
He's like it's a bull,
He's a
right?
swinger,
He's a
yeah.
swinger.
Yeah.
We should have asked him
We
about
should
that.
have, yeah.
If it's called a
couldn't do
threesome
that
or if
either.
it's called a train.
Like I've had weird things like that where men are like,
Have
"Would
asked
you
you to
want to
come
bang
in.
my wife?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, your wife's hot, but no, I don't want to bang your wife."
Couldn't do it.
Question, do you get turned on by other men banging your girlfriend or your wife? I know some men are into
No,
that.
that's the same thing. No,
Oh, is it?
that's disgusting.
No, not your cup of tea.
I think for me, because I'm, what's the right word here? I'm selfish. Not selfish. Like, don't fuck with my shit. Territorial would be the word, maybe. Yeah.
So what is your favorite place to take a woman to on a first date?
My normal first date stuff. Nice dinner, and not. I don't go to a nice dinner for the impress of the woman. I just eat nice shit. So I'm kind of bougie, right? So like if I'm like, I'm gonna go on a date Wednesday with this girl, like I'm gonna book a place that I eat at anyway.
What is your favorite?
Have you tried? I eat at the Inns regularly in Old Town.
What is it?
The Inns.
The Inns? I've never heard
It's
of it.
good. They got burned ends, good New York steaks. Like it's pretty solid. I've ate at City Hall for years. I eat at City Hall. If I'm down in Chandler, I go to Chop.
Do you do dinner on a first date? What if it goes badly and then you're stuck there for dinner?
I do because I don't meet women.
That's true. That is true.
Yes.
You've already met them in real life, and so you already kind of know that you're
I might be
interested
at like
in them.
a social thing in Scottsdale.
Yeah,
And then I met them and then agree to a date.
that's true.
You
Yeah,
know?
so you've already met in person, so
I think
you know
if I was
you're
an
gonna get
online
on.
dater like Minnie is, I would just be like, yo, let's meet at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I would be that route.
That makes sense.
So now, do you lose respect for a woman if she puts out on the first date?
I don't know. Is that unrespectful or was that man very skilled?
That's a good question.
Right?
That's
that is a
true.
good question.
How many drinks? How talented is he? Maybe he's got skills. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be over judgy either side.
Well, now it's time for the most delicious segment of the show, Zoyo and Tell, sponsored by Zoyo, your neighborhood yogurt. Have you been to Zoyo?
I've known Zoya for years. Yeah.
Okay, pick one of these. Some are innocent, some are not so
I
innocent.
saw one that was kind of weird.
Pick one at your own risk.
He's gonna look for it. He's like, I wanted to answer that weird one.
One was weird for sure. Oh, let's take this one. All right. The craziest place I've had sex.
No, that's a good one.
Oh, this is a good one. I feel like.
I wouldn't even call them crazy places, but like Neiman Marcus.
What?
In the dressing
changing
room?
For sure.
What?
Here's my thing, and this is what I tell girls when I start dating. I'm like, I say shit like this, but I'll be like, I'm always an orgasm giver first. Like I live on that shit, right? I actually get attracted, I'm turned on by seeing a woman orgasm first, right? But I'm like, there's gonna be some times that you're not gonna get that orgasm first. It's gonna be very rare, but it's probably gonna be at like Neiman Marcus in the fucking dressing room.
In the dressing room, when we
'Cause
only
we're
have
only
like
at 2.5
45
minutes.
seconds.
Yeah. So there's your time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Or it might be at like a bar or something. We're out that night, like, or in the office. Maybe I invest in a place in the office, but we're not gonna be in there for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Are you a member of the Mile High Club?
I'm not. I don't think I could fit in the bathroom.
Right. That's funny. This
You're
was
tall,
our
I'm-
conversation. What counts as Mile High Club? Does it have to be in the bathroom, or can it be anywhere on the
If you
plane?
got a handy.
A handy? I don't think a handy counts. I
Okay.
think there has to be penetration of some sort.
Okay.
But it could be on like the seats, or it could
Isn't
be.
that hard to penetrate on the seats though? Like
you
without
were-
people
I'd be
knowing?
scared to death to try to have sex in a fucking plane.
If
Like,
you were
would
in a
too.
lay down
like
seat,
I'm not registering as a damn sex offender.
No,
you
I
know
know
what I'm
that
saying?
is true.
I'm
That's a
scared to
good
death of
point.
shit.
That's a good point.
Because if
That's a
someone
good point.
found you, you would be in jail, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like what is that? Public.
Yes.
Charter,
don't wanna-
No,
you know?
I was, and you're right about that, because I was flying with my 6-year-old niece
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago, and I have to go to the bathroom. She has to go to the bathroom, right? Me and my 6-year-old niece barely fit
It's tiny.
in the bathroom on the plane. How are two grown adults supposed to fit
and
in
I
that
stand there and
bathroom?
just pee. I put like a hand on the wall. I'm leaning over it. Try not to pee on the seat, right? Yeah, it's tiny in there.
Do you have any other questions?
That's funny. No.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this week at the Meat Market. Thank you so much, Justin. If you want to go on a date with Justin, send us a message at themeatmarketpodcast.com or on any of our social media platforms, Meat Market Podcast. And thank you so much to our sponsor, Tactical Tax Strategy. If you want to keep more of your own money in your wallet, go to Tactical Tax Strategies. We'll see you next week at the Meat Market. Oh my God, I just totally got catfished. He looks absolutely nothing like his picture.
So I found out the guy that I've been dating is married with kids. His wife just reached out to me.